What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Deontay Wilder in the news, Mr. Bomb Squad himself. All right. So listen, he got his fight coming up. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I remember the dude's name because I don't. Somebody I never heard of, but it's okay. This is a comeback fight. Wilder's coming off of a 2-loss winning streak. It is what it is. This is what you're supposed to do when you're trying to rebuild somebody's career. So shout out to Deontay Wilder. Now, he recently did it. Well, I ain't gonna say recently. It wasn't like that recently, or it wasn't that recent, but he just did a video or an interview. I believe it was with Ellie Setback. I'm not sure, but he was talking about how he's had injuries due to his right shoulder for years now or whatnot, right? So he recently got surgery or whatnot. And before you guys try to say, oh, he's making more excuses, I'm gonna speak on like the history of boxers and having lingering, ongoing injuries or whatnot. And even for myself, you know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and get to the article, and then I'm gonna definitely give you my opinion. All right, so shout out to the Boxing News app. It says Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder insists the fuse on boxing's most feared right hand is burning bright again after 2 shoulder operations ended 3 years of constant pain. Excuse me. The 39-year-old former WBC champion returns Friday, the 27th of June at Wichita's 10,500-seat Charles Koch Arena, facing Texan veteran Tyrell Herndon, over 10 rounds in a BLK Prime pay-per-view dub Legacy Reload. Wilder revealed he struggled to lift his arm to throw a punch or even wipe my ass before surgery, but now feels free of injuries. The windmill is back. The Alabama knockout artist has just one victory since 2020 in his 2022 one-round blitz of Robert Helenius, and is coming off of a consecutive losses between Joseph Parker and Zhali Zhang. A statement stoppage in Kansas is designed to launch a 3-fight rebuild and lure a big money bouts with Jarrell Miller or Anthony Joshua. Herndon calls the assignment a dream fight and arrives on a modest three-fight win streak, but Booker's opened Wilder as a 35-1 favorite. Still, the bouts give fans the first look at how much speed and snap the rebuilt right shoulder retains, and whether Wilder's vaunted power can mask ring rust after a 12-month layoff. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about that. All right, now if you guys know my channel, I support Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. I love what he stands for. It's stuff that Wilder does for his community that people will never know, but that's just the type of person he is or whatnot. Of course, I know because I'm from around that area, not Alabama, but from Georgia. So it's like I know, what Wilder does. But regardless, I don't even have to talk about that. Let's talk about the injuries, right? Now, a lot of people are gonna say, well, that's just Wilder coming up with another excuse, right? This actually is not. It's not an excuse. It's actually a reality. It's a lot of fighters that have ongoing injuries. Like I remember Andre Ward. He had, if you look at, I think it's his right shoulder. Or it's like his. It's in between his chest and his rotator cuff, and he has like a scar tissue there. But he had a surgery right there. And he was saying that he had pains with that arm since he was like, I believe he said, I don't think it was since he was 12, but I know it was like since he was an amateur or something like that. And he just got it. He just had surgery on it. I can't remember. It was like late in his career though. These things happen, bro. Like it's not an excuse. It's just, a lot of fighters, what they say, no fighter really walks into a fight 100% because boxing is a very, very rough sport. It's very taxing on your body. It's injuries that I have like that, just that not so much, well, yeah, that I deal with, like things that I've had to like endure and dealt with. I'm not even gonna really just say, but it just is. It is what it is. That's just a part of boxing or whatnot. So hopefully this surgery works out for I was gonna say Andre Ward, for Deontay Wilder, and we see the right hand, because I will say this, and I think a lot of people can agree, it did in the fight with Joseph Parker and Zali Zane. It did look like Wilder was very reluctant, or almost to the point of being gun shy from throwing that right hand. And a lot of people will say, well, why would you, if you're a casual, you're going to say, well, why would he be gun shy to throw his best punch? Because when you throw a punch, you're in risk of getting countered. And so with Deontay Wilder, he was at, he's come off of such a grueling fight with Tyson Fury, which many people proceed to feel or feel like that's taking a lot out of his career, because those were three grueling fights. The second one was very brutal, and the third one was just a all-out banger. Like, that was one of the best heavyweight fights we've seen in recent history. So those fights possibly could have taken a lot out of him. I don't, he knows. But I personally, I'm gonna support anything Deontay does. I'm gonna support what he does. If he feels like he's ready, then who am I to tell him that he shouldn't be fighting, right? And if he feels like he's not, who are we to tell him that he shouldn't retire? I just think that Deontay Wilder doesn't really get the credit that he deserves, bro. Like, a lot of people forget that Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua brought the heavyweight division back. Before they came about and before they established themselves, even when Tyson Fury fought Klitschko, which was a not entertaining fight at all, it was pretty boring actually. Nobody was talking about the heavyweight division. Nobody. And Deontay Wilder comes, and he's like this just big knockout artist. And obviously Anthony Joshua is doing his thing out in the UK. Deontay Wilder brought back American heavyweight boxing. Whether you like him or not, that's just the honest to God truth. Granted, a lot of people want to criticize Deontay Wilder by saying, "Oh, he doesn't have any skills." Here's my thing for people that say that. First and foremost, if you don't box, then just shut up. Because I'm gonna tell you why you don't know what you're talking about. Because people all say, "Oh, I don't have to be a boxer to know that somebody doesn't have skills." Okay, how do you make the Olympic team by not having any skills? You gotta let me tell you something. For people that think that Deontay Wilder doesn't have skills, I just want you to go compete and I've said this so many times. I want you to just go compete in your state. Go train for a year or two and go compete in the Golden Gloves. Just the Golden Gloves. That's it. Just go compete in the Golden Gloves. See how hard that is just to win Golden Gloves. All right. Let alone the Olympic team. And then not only that, he's placed, he's placed bronze, bronze medal. And then here's another thing. People like to say, well, he doesn't have skill, but he has power. Power is the only skill he has is power. Power is not a skill, bro. That's an attribute. What happens is the skill set that you have allows the power to work in your favor, meaning that you have to land the shot. Let's keep it 100. Let's not forget that you have to land the shot. So if you just have power and you don't have any skill set to, what power is useless without accuracy. So, and accuracy comes with skills. You have to be skillful in order to have good placement, punch placement and all that. So people just like to run with this whole narrative and then talk about the dude's legs, which is pretty freaking weird to me. And I just don't understand it. I think that Deontay Wilder is a great fighter. I think that yes, his fundamentals aren't all the way there. He's limited. He's very limited when it comes to his skill set, but the skills are there. I think he's very entertaining. I think that he's smarter than what a lot of people give him credit for. I remember when he fought Luis Ortiz, and when Luis buzzed him and Wilder immediately smothered him. And that's very smart, because when you smother somebody, you take their power away from them or whatnot. But people don't like to talk about that stuff like that. He's a dog. It just is what it is. I think Wilder is a hell of a fighter. I think that dude, he literally made the heavyweight division exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just think that people, they're very harsh on him because of the whole the situation with Tyson Fury, in which what was crazy was they took what he said and didn't even word it right. Wilder said he was like, bro, he was feeling so, his legs were so weak, like his suit. He felt, what he said, he felt so weak that his suit was just like even heavy on his legs. Like he didn't even feel 100% like carrying the suit in, but they took it as him saying his suit is the reason why he lost. And that's not what he was saying, bro. He was saying he felt so, just, I don't even want to get into it, man. It just is what it is. I think that shout out to Deontay Wilder. I can't wait to see him come back. And whatever he decides to do, man, I'm gonna support. But that's just that. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Do you want to see Deontay Wilder come back? But what do I know?